Thought I'd do a little video, well, probably going to do several videos actually, just because nobody online that you ask, or that kind of, you know, has had them fitted or has fitted them themselves, nobody really seems to want to tell you how they fitted their Flossmann fenders. So I'm talking about these things over here. These are the full carbon vented Flossmann fenders for the E92. And yeah, can't find any information on them, even from Flossmann. Even Flossmann's like, oh yeah, you just kind of fit them on the car and there you go. It ain't simple at all. In fact, it's not hard, it's just fucking time consuming. So part one is looking at the driver's side. So apologies for my camera skills and my presentation skills, but you can see in there that basically what I've done is I have kept the washer bottle. So washer bottle is hiding up there. The standard washer bottle sits sort of this area here. You can't keep it because it doesn't fit with the fenders. So if it's a track car, you can just ditch it, bin it. And a few people have said to me that they've done that, but I didn't want to do that. So what I've done is, you can see in there, like here, this wiring here. So I've taken the pump wiring, I've taken the level sensor for how much fluid's in it, and I've taken the washer jet pipe and sort of just tied them up, and I've run them to the back of the car. So I've run them outside the car, so you can basically just follow it through. You can go underneath the sill all the way with the live cable to the battery in the boot, and then kind of when you get to the rear, take the arch liner off and you sort of go over the arch a little bit, and then you kind of go across the rear beam above the exhaust where one of the vac hoses is, I think, and then across into the boot. Dead easy to do. Again, just bloody time consuming. So there's my washer bottle there. So you can see, if I just stick that out there, you can see there. Well, I probably can't see there actually, it's too fucking dark. But basically that's where it's mounted there, coming up through the boot floor. I fitted it there because I thought, well, if it leaks at all, A, it's putting a little bit of weight to the passenger side, you know, which all helps at the rear of the car. And B, because you've got that sort of recess area there, I thought, well, if it does leak, then it's just going to leak into that recess area and not sort of piss all over the boot floor and all over the battery and everything, which is never what you look for, really, is it? So everything that needs to come off the car, you can see here. So you need to take off front and rear arch liners. I'm going to reuse mine. I'm going to modify them. Again, that's a question that nobody could answer. Take off your side skirts there, and then obviously take off your sill plates and what have you. And then there's me just making up the mesh there to sort of go into the fenders. That's, again, that's, you know, not complicated. It's just really time consuming. The last thing I've got to do on the passenger side here is, as you can see, I've just routed the indicator wiring, so I've just shielded it with a bit of this stuff, cable wrap, and then just use some of these little cable tie anchor points and just sort of run it up across, and I'm going to run it sort of down here. And then that's done, and then yeah, mesh up the fender, fit it up. So that is part one of the video. Enjoy. Part two, kind of made some progress. Still not finished, obviously, because got to mesh them up and do the arch liners and stuff. Much fucking about. Just showing you because it's easier. This is how it looks on the driver's side. You don't have to do it this way. I mean, you could just sort of run this wiring however you want to do it, basically. It doesn't have to be overly tidy like I've done it, but you can see here. So this is the original washer bottle wiring. I've just run it down here and extended the hose down there, and you've got this channel here where the battery terminal runs from the engine bay through to the battery in the boot. So that is really convenient. That runs through there, and comes out underneath here and runs along the sill underneath. So that's what I meant when I said that's how you connect the wiring up and sort of tidy it up in the back. And then this is obviously for the indicator here, so it's just some of these nice little tidy cable tidy things, cable tied in place nice and loose, sort of just going over here like that, and that's for your indicator there. Might be a bit of faffing about with the arch liner just so it doesn't foul on that, but anyway, onwards to the passenger side, where there is way more fucking about. So what I've done passenger side is, if you look here, I've cut out a sort of semicircular channel there. You could run sort of up here if you wanted to, but I've not done that. Most people, to be honest, that I've seen seem to have done it the way I've done it. So it's for this here. So this is for the brake sort of whatever it is. It's the pump thingamajig. It originally sits down here, sits on a big metal bracket with rubber and shit in it, and I've obviously just drilled them out. I will tidy them up a bit more, just painted them so they don't rust. This pipe originally obviously was kind of longer, bent round here and kind of went into this connector here. This obviously was sat down here. So yeah, what I've done is, I've just put some nut certs in there, because that's a nice recess. Some people seem to sort of move it just further back here. Obviously it fouls on the fender there, because obviously that part there is normally up here. So some people have kind of moved it quite a bit further back here, but I didn't like the thought of that. I thought that was too close. So got perfect recess there. So yeah, just a couple of P-clips, big ones there, just to hold it top and bottom. I mean, that's pretty fucking solid on there. And then again, me and my nylon spacers, I think it's about 5mm nylon spacers on there, and that's it. And then just a bit of sort of thread lock in there, just so it doesn't come loose. Should be straightforward enough, I think. And then yeah, what I've done is, again, you don't have to do this. You can kind of, the standard wiring runs along here, and then would come out here with this, basically for the indicator and for the pump plug. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to sort of keep as little as I could possible in that channel that I showed you on the Fender. So all I want is for this to sort of come through that channel on the Fender there. So all I need to do is basically just connect that up when it's in place, up into there, dead easy. I extended the wiring for the indicator and then sort of wrapped it again. Extended the wiring for the indicator, relocated the plug up here, and then using these little U-channel clips again, followed exactly the same thing that I've done on the driver's side. And then when it's kind of set, I always put a bit of Evo stick impact adhesive on the back of these pads, just to sort of make sure they stay in place. You can actually just pot rivet them in the middle if you want to, so they'll never ever come off, but I've never really bothered doing that. Yeah, and that should be it really, I think. And then it's, like I say, meshing up the fenders. You can see here, I mean, people that run the, I mean, obviously I've got more shit going on here because I've got the supercharger and what have you. So that's my air filter there that kind of sits forward there, pushed forward by the front arch liner. You cannot, if you've got a supercharger, you cannot run without the arch liner, simple as, because that just ain't going to work ever, is it? But if you look at all the sort of wiring and gubbins that's running round here, I don't know about you, but I do not fancy stones and shit kicking up on track and what have you. And obviously shit can just get straight through into the engine bay there because it's open. So, you know, the arch liners will have to go back in. And that is that. Final video of the fenders pre-mesh. So obviously going to mesh up in there, going to mesh up in there. My blades off the car, these things, blades, that's what you call them. One of mine's a bit fucked, So fitting them into the fenders was a bit of a kind of ball ache. So I decided that I would customize them a little bit. So I have meshed up that hole instead, and then I'm just going to fit, there's the other one there, just going to fit the blade, just cut off the two edges there that sort of sit into the original front sort of vent clip, cut them off, sanded them down, and I will sort of, yeah, I'm great at this presentation, Shaitana. Yep. This is final on the driver's side, so you can see up here all I've done, cut out a little U channel, that was in the wrong place, no one will see it, cut out a little U channel there and then put half a grommet in it just to sort of keep that out of the way of the arch liner and just to sort of stop it rubbing on the metal and then rubbing through. So that's that side done, and then this side, which is the total pain in the arse, same thing again, U channel in there and then a grommet just so that doesn't foul. What I discovered was, sit, this obviously doesn't foul where the fender is here, so that's fine. So yeah, this is all now fitted up. And basically what I've done, as you can see here, is I have nutset in there into, there's a hole like one of these here, and I just enlarged it, put a nutset into it and some thread lock on it so it's not overly tight, so that can kind of move a little bit, gives you a little bit of flex. And then on this side here, as you can see, this little what do you call it here, I don't know, piece of metal, that was sat like that, so it's got a hole in it anyway ready, so I just bent it in like that and then put a bolt through the back and captive nut on it, and then again not overly tightened it, and then run it through P-clip for this part here. So that is now completely out of the way and tidy, and if you look here you can see it very well, but it doesn't foul on the bodywork anywhere, and I think that's pretty tidy actually. Yeah, so that's it. So next job now will be fitting up the blades and doing the mesh, and then yeah, fitting the fenders up to the car. Mesh and sticky stuff. Got some edging there, various bits of it, thought I'd give it a go for the cutout there for the vac hose. Pretty simple square mesh, just slightly cut to follow the shape of the arch, and then sort of flat on that side, just bent 90-degree angle, because I really don't fancy stones flying up on, I mean they're pretty strong, these fenders, like really strong in fact, but I do not fancy stones flying up at speed, which they tend to do, and damaging them basically, because you know nobody wants that. So I've meshed up the top vents and you can see how that looks. Looks quite tidy. And then bottom vents, yeah, just a case of lots of sort of hammering and shaping really, and trimming. What I've done is you could wrap around here, like I have done at the top here, sort of wrapping it around and sort of grab it underneath to grip in place, but I decided that that was okay for the tops where you've got more clearance from the body of the car, but kind of this area here and here is very tight on the car, so I thought I'd just cut it off to follow the contour there, and probably stick a few, well, stick one maybe. It's a bit overkill, but hey, that's my middle name. A few screws just through here, just to sort of hold it in place. But yeah, should look pretty tidy, I think. Yeah, and as you can see, I've never worked out how not to get covered in fucking sealant when I'm working with it. Yeah, so that's that. Just let it sort of set now, and then tomorrow, well, see how it looks. Fuck about with the edging for that bit there, and then stick it on the car and adjust if I need to. But yeah, getting there, I think. One fender fitted. You can see now with the mesh, I think. Obviously I need to put the blade back in. Mesh, all the mesh. I fitted the arch liners, which is dead easy actually to do. Just a case of trimming. I need new arch liners anyway, because the car's low and it's running obviously 10-inch wide rims, 275 profile tyres, so it's it rubs on the arches under load and on lock and stuff. So yeah, arch liners are fucked anyway. But you can see here, give you an idea. So top vent fully functional, and basically just followed the contour of the chassis of the car really, and then that's it. All done and dusted. Final update on the fenders. Now they're fitted and I've driven the car at speed, and nothing's fallen off, which is always positive. Yeah, I think, what am I doing down there? The only issue I've had, and it might just be a me thing, I don't think I've fucked up the hosing to the washer jets. Maybe I have, but I don't think I have, because you know, you never sort of, you always got to be careful, haven't you, with backhoes and stuff, not to sort of nip it up to anything or kink it and what have you. So I think I've been safe with it, but the pressure to the washer jets at the front was just like shit. It was like dribbling like an old man, and yeah, just wasn't doing anything with the windscreen. So this is the old bottle here that I bought, China's finest, like 11 quid off eBay. Absolute pile of shit, which is to be expected really. So I toddled off down to Biltema, which is the Swedish kind of Halford store, and I bought a, I don't think you can see, we certainly can't see the pumps, but I bought a twin pump bottle from there to give me a bit more power. So that's kind of wired in now, and you cannot see that. You kind of can see the wiring there going to twin pumps. That's the, oh god, you cannot fucking video. Yeah, you'll just have to trust me that in there you can see it. That's the washer fluid sensor, level sensor, so that shouldn't cause any problems. And the stock, I mean, it's very easy just to take off the pollen filter kind of covers on the front, so you can get access to the washer jets here where they live. The stock ones are heated, I believe. I don't know whether they heat the fluid or whether they just keep the nozzles heated so that they don't freeze up. I think that's a stock thing on these cars, which is German over-engineering at its finest. Hoping there's no errors thrown up by disconnecting those, but I'm going to just make up a little kind of carbon plate to cover where they used to be, and just use the say, because they're not adjustable. So, you know, they need a bit more power. These are the ones that came with the Biltema kit. Obviously these are ones where you can just adjust with a pin. It's like £3 or whatever for the tool. You've not got any pins, just adjust the direction of the nozzles. I'm going to kind of fit them up instead. I've tested them already and they work, but the BMW ones need more power, I think, to sort of get out through them, and you can't adjust them, as I've said about 76 times now. So I've taken them off. I'm just going to fit those other ones up and then adjust them. The BMW ones come up just to it's pretty pathetic really. With the BMW ones, it kind of reaches about here up the windscreen. With the little aftermarket ones, you're sort of getting up here, further up here. So yeah, don't know if you'll need to do that. Might just have been me, like I say. Obviously running hose from the boot requires more power. Didn't think about that. Yeah, that's it.